Okay, so we've got our ERevo here with the brushless setup, and everything on the truck is pretty solid and everything. I've got the RPM arms on the front and rear, along with the knuckles that you can see in here. So the arms themselves are pretty solid. An issue that we were having before is that the push rods were popping out of the rocker side or on the suspension arm side, right where the rod end is, and so the push rods themselves weren't bending, but the rod end was pulling out. And when that happens, you lose your suspension, and then you have to stop bashing basically, and you either force the push rod back into the rod end, which further stretches it out and causes it to slip more, or you have to stop, unbolt it, screw a new one on, or reuse the old one and then put it back together. And while not a very big deal, it does cause a delay when you just want to be out there driving. So I just swapped those out with the Traxxas upgraded units, but the final piece of the puzzle here are these, the toe links right here. So the problem that you run into with the toe links is the same exact thing. Basically, you crash, the car cartwheels, and the tire will, move in or out, toe in or toe out basically, and that puts stress and pressure on the rod ends. And so what happens is you end up pulling the rod out of the end, and the same thing, then you have to stop driving to repair that. So RPM makes a product called the TrueTrack, and that eliminates the need for toe links. So basically, you still have the RPM arms for strength and everything, but then you get rid of this toe link. So one, you lose a little bit of weight with that, but most importantly is that you eliminate this part as a problem for braking. So let's go ahead and take a look at those and get those installed. So this is everything that you get with the RPM TrueTrack. You get new replacement arms for the rear, both the lower pieces and the upper pieces. You get new knuckle carriers, and then you get some screws in here, and then you get a few bearings and everything that will now fit in the new parts. So let's get that installed. Okay, so now I'm partway through. I've got one of the sides ripped off with the stock side on the other still, and up here you can really see on the old one the toe link controls which way the wheel is normally facing, because if you make it shorter you got toe out, and if you make it longer you have toe in. So that's where that weak link is, but you can see on the TrueTrack it eliminates that piece and basically locks it in. I believe the specs on that are 1.5 degrees toe in, which seems to be pretty common for what most people are running, which is why RPM selected to have that as kind of the default. Okay, and one thing I did notice is this is the old RPM upper arm on the rear, and this is the new one. It does look like they are identical in size, so that's nice if you do happen to have an old set like how I'm doing, and I'm pulling the older ones off. I'll be able to keep these, and that way in case I do somehow end up breaking one, although they do have a warranty, at least that way I've got one on hand to use. And then I have heard people complaining about the difficulty they've been having with trying to screw this into the arm here. So just use, caution, be careful, and take your time when you're doing that to make sure that you're screwing that in correctly and that it's not going in crooked. And then don't screw it in too far, or else you can end up stripping the threads in here. And then the other thing here is you can see that I've got the suspension arm with the ball joint screwed in there. Basically, you're going to get the plastic washer that they've provided, so that's going to go on top of that. Obviously, you're going to want to make sure that's nice and straight, and then you're going to throw in the aluminum piece right here to seal all of that all together. So I got one side done here, and you can see that it no longer has that toe link piece because of the way it's set up. So now when we're out driving around, we don't have to worry about that falling out. And here's the factory stock side. So you can see that the toe link is on here, and basically that is one of the weak links that we are trying to get rid of here. So let's get this swapped out.